Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. Hope you're feeling better than Ed and I, because we are man flu sufferers, but because we're brave, heroic people, we're here to run the webinar for you this morning. But I'm particularly delighted to be able to bring this UC1 Trio launch to you. As many of you will know, we've been looking forward to bringing the new UC1 Trio proposition to marketplace. It's an important part of the portfolio development and represents an ideal opportunity for us to change pace as we go into 2020. For those of you who are maybe joining us for the first time, I'll just introduce this series of webinars that we've been running all year. I think we've probably had in excess of 10 already, maybe 12 during the course of the year. Lots of different products and services. Some announcements on specialized packages like the education and the charity user packages. I'd encourage you all, if you haven't seen all of those, to head to the VanillaIP.com website and take a browse back through them. What you've got now is an ever-growing but very capable portfolio of productivity tools and functional options for your customer base. So not only are we talking about the winning of new business and the using of tools to do that, but we're talking increasingly about the optimization of technology by your customers to improve their productivities and their own customer experience during their contact with them. So go to VanillaIP, have a catch-up session. Perfect thing to do over the Christmas holidays when there's not much on. So today, however, we're launching UC1 Trio, and Ed Thrussell, who's with me in VanillaIP Command Control, is going to do the technical bit, which is why I sound relaxed this morning. But I want to talk again and just reiterate the importance of this, and there are many different reasons why these new collaboration tools or these variants on cloud communications devices are becoming more important. I'll just highlight a few of them in this particular slide. One of the most important, I think, and we get feedback from recruiters and employers all the time, is that there is a changing workplace expectation. People are coming into the workforce expecting to use technology to make their lives simple and more efficient. And certainly the collaboration end of this product set, as well as the flexibility of workplace that you get from the soft phone options, is a growing necessity for a workforce that has this expectations. Perhaps for the more mature of us, it's the time poor workforce that these tools really start to come in and play for us. The ability to work from anywhere, the ability to slot in virtual meetings whilst traveling around the country. If you want to be bored by my anecdotes later on, call me up and I'll tell you how frequently I use coffee shops as just normal stations where I can join virtual meetings. There is also some other drivers. Some of your customer base will be particularly interested in their carbon footprint, and obviously these tools allow us to meet virtually more frequently, and to allow us to be a greener business environment. Productivity of working teams again works on this theory that the way we work these days means we should meet more, we should talk more frequently and work through jobs together. And these productivity tools mean that we don't have to share the same workplace. We can work in different time zones and be flexible working together there. And that ties again in with maybe the global business players that you'll be working with, where people are out in different time zones or just trying to fit in customers and potential customers that are out of time zone. And I put the last one on here, I think is where you'll see the volume growth going through. We have been seeing resistance to things like video calls for 20 years or more, but I think it's fair to say that there is an ever-growing comfort in the use of both collaboration and video tools. So as your customer has become more accustomed to and more comfortable with these technologies, you will see an accelerated growth in their desire perhaps to move away from traditional telephony models into this collaborative tool set. So just looking at it from the customer base point of view, and you can look upon this in terms of prospective customers as well as existing customers. But the aim of these tools, the aim of us as an organization is to support increased flexibility in a workforce and the productivity that comes from that. It's also an interesting opportunity to move away from fixed devices. We know that if we're trying to offer SaaS models, if we're trying to be true cloud, one of the elements that gets in the way of this a bit sometimes is the hard phone device, the plastic on the desk. The more people get into using either a mobile or a PC-based app or a combination of the two, the less likely they are to need or desire to maintain a fixed phone on the desk. And what's interesting about the Trio, clue in the name, the ability to have multiple apps, is that you're no longer likely to see the resistance of the what happens if something goes wrong with my PC, I'm now dead on voice as well. Obviously the combination apps means that each of your users could be elegantly switching between a PC and a mobile, and I'm sure that we'll see that through the demonstrations, etc. As we go. The improvement of remote team management, I think, is something that we all benefit from, and I was speaking to somebody yesterday who just emphasized the desire to push more of the team meetings into a virtual environment and save the get-togethers for training, when really bedding in together and working through something new would be more important. But the communications of messages, the broad communication of messages through an easy-to-use Meet tool, I think is a great advantage. And to improve the customer engagement, and one of the key differences between this product, which we've launched fully, and previous versions from Broadsoft of collaboration tools that we've seen, is the ability to reach beyond our own user group and to invite anybody from anywhere in the world to both join and take part in a fully interactive virtual meeting. So again, the Meet client that can be sent to non-phone system users extends your range of using the collaboration tool from closed user group to everybody, including video, including screen share, etc. So, and it's very simple to use and a great way of helping your customers to reach out to their customers and have true engagement with them. So pretty much as we go through this, you'll see, and in the conversations that you have with the customers, that it's a simple return on investment based on productivity, either reduction in travel or frequency of meetings, multitude of meetings through the day, and just taking away that fallow time that we often feel when we're traveling around, to be able to use every moment as productively as possible. So, the range, and please do reach out to us, get a trial version so you and your team can kick it about and see how it works and invite each other to meetings and everything. But it sits into 3 products. The first one is UC1 Trio, a simple soft phone. This is, as it describes, it's a soft phone, and you may run this alongside the Unity products that you're used to, using that for presence and other manipulations. But it's just the simple soft phone. The name Trio alludes to the fact that you are able to take an application down onto a mobile, a tablet, and a PC. In order for them to all operate together, you'll see that you will need to have the mobility bolt-on there. That means that you've got shared call appearance as a service in the Broadworks to allow you to have multiple devices registering and operational at the same time. But if you wanted to have the Trio, the single soft phone, as a primary device only on a user, you could allocate either just a mobile or a PC client and not have the mobility bolt-on. So we'll work with Smart User as a single device option. We'll work with Smart User plus mobility as a multiple device option for your clients. The Trio soft phone and IMMP is as very much it describes, it's your soft phone, but then you've got your instant message and presence. So if you were moving away from the Unity-based experience and wanting to centralize on different users having different elements of this suite, this is where you get your base level instant message communication capability, your text to add to the voice communications and the video communication that the soft phone gives you. And I should just reiterate, I suppose, that soft phone, we're assuming now that the soft phone itself will always be considered voice and video on any of the application or any of the PC and soft phones that you use. You then move on to the top end, and again, this is a very exciting new product. The soft phone with full collaboration means that you can now move swiftly from either a one-to-one or a one-to-few conversation into the My Room experience. And whereas we were never really that enamored with the Cisco BroadSoft My Room experience in the Smart UC1, we now see a really well produced collaboration tool which allows me to reach out to people within my user group or beyond and have a fully interactive and immersive session with them. Ed's going to take through some of the additional hub and sort of more team orientated elements of that when we go into the demonstration. But what you're talking about here is a very strong, powerful team and customer engagement tool, easily deployed. Finally, before I hand over to Ed, I'm just going to reiterate that we retain in the mix a very useful base level set of the UC1 products before. So now under the heading of UC1 Classic, none of these products can now run with IM&P from the end of this month. So if you're looking at IM&P, we're into the trio options at that point. But for call centers and for some specific user cases, there still remains these very simple soft phone clients that you can have. So soft phone for a PC is a single instance, soft phone for a mobile is a single instance, and a voice only one, i.e. a pared down version that this might be your true call center one, where there actually isn't a video option on there as well. So within the UC1 family, we now have some very basic products which are very cost effective and get around a device change requirement. And then you have this very complete set offered by the Trio, which gives you multiple device capabilities and multifunction capabilities. So plenty to get your teeth into. I'm going to hand over to Ed if I press the right button, and Ed's going to take you through a little bit more of a live run through. Ed, here you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ian. Morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm just going to give you a quick run through of the UC1 product itself, the UC1 Trio. This is the version I'm running is the full collaboration one, just to show you everything that's available. One thing, I'm not going to show you the login element, but just so you're all aware, the very first time you log in on either the PC, the mobile, the tablet, there's a little activation code. It's the same code across all of them. You enter it one time, and that's all you need to do. So when you order the product, you should get that code through, and off you go. So you log in. As you can see, the interface looks similar, slightly different to old Smart UC1. We've retained the BroadSoft branding just so that you're all aware, to keep it sort of straightforward. We're not hiding the fact that it's Cisco UC1. So that's what we're keeping there. Just going to run down all the options for you just to give you a rough idea of what's all here. So first thing here, same as before, this is my profile part here. You see my little face there just peering over into the porthole there. You can see my name, where I'm located. It takes your location from your public IP address. So we're not actually in Mitcham anymore, but our IP address is still registered to there. So that's why I'm showing up there. I can add little what's on my mind comments here, so I can put on demo or something like that. I've got a status here, which is, at the moment, I'm actually set to automatic. So I'm tying into my Outlook calendar, and that will bring through the fact that I'm in this meeting right now. I can, if I want, override that by setting myself to be available, away, busy, offline, etc. So anyone else using UC1 Trio will see that presence within their applications when they look at me. So we're now available. I can sign out there if I want to as well. So the main home screen when you always log into the app is actually your messages window. So that's the default one. That's the one you're always going to see, whether you've got messages there or not. You can see here I've got the little chat here, and I can actually see right now I've got one message here. It pops up in the toast in the bottom right hand corner as well. So there's a little message from Vaz there. What's he got to say to me? If I double click, it expands the message. And there you go. He sent some cool traces to me. Check. Thanks for that, Faz. I look forward to that when I finish this call. So that's there. I can read that. Off I go. If I want to delete any details, or if I want to delete the history for this, I just go into communications. I've got this dump open here. Go into communications, VAS, and if I want to pretend I never got it from him, I'm going to delete my chat history there. So that's that window there. I'm going to go into the next one, which is my contacts window. So in here, I've got a favorites bar. I can actually add new groups in here as well if I want to. So I've got a sales group. So what I could do is on Peter here, I can right click on him. I can add him to a group, add him into sales, and he pops up into a separate little manageable group of contacts there. Everyone at the top is my favorites. Again, same functionality you've already seen before in old UC1. So if I want to ring Amy, for example, I can right click, I do audio call, I can ring her DDI or extension number. I can also do a direct video call to her as well. Call from my desk phone if I want to. I can also join Amy's collaboration room, and I can invite her to my collaboration room. Or you can also click on email, and I've got some hub stuff. We'll come back to some of those other elements shortly. But if I need to go in here and edit anything, I can edit her profile. If I really don't want Amy to be in here anymore, I can delete her. Not that I would do that, sorry Amy. But yeah, so that's what we can do there. If I want to interact further in there, I can double click, and like we've just seen in the chat window space, opens it up into a new tab. So in here I've got my looking forward to the demo there. Yeah, so we've got the chat history here. I can send new chats to Amy if I want to. Let's see if she's on board. Amy, there we go. Maybe she'll reply. If I don't get a reply, I could just click on the audio call button, and that will do a soft phone audio call. Oh, hi Amy. I can do an audio call directly to her in the same way you would have done on old UC1. I can do a direct video call if I want to by clicking this button. I can also do a call to my desk phone. So if I've got a Polycom or an HTech or a Yealink, click on that, it will send a call to it, just like you would do in any other call control application like Unity, for example. I can also then do some direct collaboration with Amy, just direct me and her. So what I can do here, I can go straight to the room experience where it's a multi-party experience, or I can start sharing my screen here with Amy. So if I click on that, what it will do, I'm not sure what that is there, but yeah, so it will see I'm on my laptop at the moment. I can just see my generic monitor, so I could share the whole screen if I wanted to. If I've got multiple monitors, I can choose which monitor I want to display. And also you can see here I've got some other applications open, and I could just, for example, I wouldn't do it here, but I could show Amy the GoToMeeting content, or this store one that's popped up here down the bottom as well. So you can do application sharing rather than just the whole screen. If you want to do a presentation like we're doing now, in theory moving forward, there's no reason why we couldn't do these sort of webinars within the My Room experience. So that's there, that's direct into interaction. I can look at the info, so Amy's contact details, which is the same if I right click here and I go to edit profile, view profile. What I can also do from here is I can click on something called Hub. Now Hub is a little app that runs inside. It's on every version of UC1 Trio. What you can do, there's several apps you can go into, and I'll cover them off shortly. But you can see there, it gives me contextual information to do with Amy. Some of our meetings have jumped out of joint here, but in theory I should be able to see any upcoming meetings. Depending on the version of mail that you're using, or calendar rather, you can actually schedule meetings. So I can look in here and it should show me any available slots that me and Amy have available that I could invite into a meeting there if I wanted to. I can also go into my mail, and I can see here we've got some mails just specifically between me and Amy. So if Amy rings me and says, "Oh, have you seen that email about the UC1 webinar we should be on?" I can say, "Well, yeah, of course. I've just read it 10 minutes ago." Yeah. While you're reading it quite happily there, you can mark them as read, you can delete them, and you can also pop it out, and it will pop open either Outlook or whatever web client or mail client you're using to be able to reply to that email as well. I've also got Twitter integration on here for my Twitter account. I don't have any exchanges with Amy, but if they were there, they'd be there as well. And you can close that off if you want to. I can also pop that out into full screen as well if I want to undock it from the app. I'm just going to close it off, and it closes that tab. Cool, so that's contacts in a nutshell. And then we've also got a call history. So I can see here I've got lots of calls here, red calls, these are the ones I've missed this morning. I had a call with Amy earlier today. So I've got date and time. I can right click on these. Again, I can bring the people back directly from here if I want to. If I've got any hub interaction, I can do that there. Copy the phone numbers, add them into my contacts if I wanted to. So general sort of call control methods around that. I've then got the voicemail tab, which is visual voicemail. So again, Amy sent me a message this morning. So if I click on there, I can actually play it back. I can ring Amy directly back from here. I can mark it as played. So if I mark it as played, it should in theory no longer appear in my 2. Yeah, so there you go, let's move to 1. I can download it as well, and also I can delete it. And again, if I dial in from my phone, that'll be gone. Usual sort of visual voicemail functionality there. Next one I've got here is the dial pad. Does exactly what it says on the tin. I can use this to dial some numbers and make some calls. Again, same controls. I can do directly the audio call being the default. I can do a video call to that person, or again, call from device. Here's all the hub settings. So this actually here, this here is tying into my Outlook, Office 365 actually. I can look at my emails. You can see that I've got 112, so that'll be nice and busy me after this call. And I can also go into my Twitter here. I can see home, my tweets, etc. I can see lots of stuff there. But if I want to add any other integrations, if I've got any more, I click on the cog at the top, click on App Store, and then these are all the current integrations within UC1 Trio. So we've got Google there, Google Calendar, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Tasks. Minimize this a bit, we'll bring up the rest. Office 365, so you can see I've logged into the Global 365 Calendar and Mail. If I'm using OneDrive, I can log in there, and also 365 Tasks if I want to as well. I can go directly to Outlook on my machine if I want to. When you do that on your machine one, there's a little bit less control around the calendar element, so I can't do the scheduling meetings, but I can see current meetings between myself and whoever I'm interacting with. That's not a problem. And then there's external other sort of miscellaneous apps, so Box. Salesforce is a good one. Obviously the team here are using it within their own UC1 Trio to do screen popping, to go to contacts, to do all that sort of good stuff. And then you've also got Twitter, which I just showed you earlier. If I really wanted to, if I don't want any of those interactions anymore, I just click on log off all integrations, and then that's it. I won't have any more hub integration for the time being. Before we get onto the My Room, the exciting part, I guess, I'm just going to quickly show you the settings menu. Just a couple of key things in here I want to show people. In the options, you can see there I've got a little red sign. It's basically telling me I've got Do Not Disturb on. So this is general call control here. So, you know, Do Not Disturb, anonymous rejection, usual sort of call control, call forwarding, etc. If I click on my little drop down, I can look at my outgoing calls. So if I want to do automatic callback or block my caller ID, obviously this is all service dependent. What else have I got here? The key ones that I want to show you are integrations. So you've got some add-in settings here. So where it was giving me my, to say that I was in a meeting, that's actually taken from the Outlook calendar integration. So this isn't the same as Hub, it's just talking directly to Outlook on your PC, and just it can set your presence from there. I've got some other integrations here around add-ins for headsets. So I've got a Plantronics webset, for example, so that's here, so I can look at that. And then I've also got an advanced tab. This one is key. If you do have any problems, I'm not saying you will, but if you do, this is where you go to get your logs before you raise a ticket to us, okay guys? So just go in here, show logs, turn your logging on. If you've got a permanent issue you can recreate, you can grab that from there as well. And last one I want to show is services. So if you don't want Hub to be on, you can go in and turn that off here. Team telephony is one that comes up a lot. Team telephony is BLF essentially, so it takes the Broadworks busy LAN field service. So with this window open, I'll see anyone I'm monitoring, it will show me busy, ringing, the usual things you get with BLF, but it does pop up every now and again. People want to turn it off, so just go in there, turn it off, it'll be remembered for next time you log in. Changing your ring details if you really want to in there as well, but the key one in there is team telephony. Okay, so let's go back to My Room. So to get to My Room, which is the collaboration space, I click on messages, and I've got a little room icon there. So I'm going to go into the room, and I've actually already got, yeah, Vass is already in the room. There you go, perfect. And you'll actually also see this person here, Jeff Remote, has joined. Oh, hello, Jeff. Thanks. So what that is, I will come to very shortly. But basically, this is the My Room environment. You can see it's got the same look and feel as when you've got a direct one-to-one placement with any of your other contacts in your contact list or in your chat history. So I can send messages to everybody. I can do lots of things here. So what I'm going to do first, if I want to invite anyone in, I'm going to go and find Amy. There she is right there. Let's bring Amy, if my drag and drop will work. There we go. All right, drag and drop doesn't want to work for me now, of course. The joy of live demos. So invite to room. Amy's going to get that invite, and Amy's actually running UC1 Trio on her mobile device. There we go. So Amy has joined the chat. Let's say hello, Amy. And hopefully Amy will see that. She's just joining the room. When you actually join a My Room session and you're on the mobile client, there's a separate little app called UC1 Meet, and that will actually bring up the My Room for the mobile. It's not built into the same client. You go into My Room, it'll pop up this Meet application. So there we go. So Amy's in the room. If I want to kick Amy out of the room, I can right click, and I can't, she's not in there properly. Ignore that one. I'm going to kick Vass out of the room, so let's kick Vass out. Vass has been removed there, and off he goes. Again, I can pop this out, make it full screen. If I want to join an instant conference, I click on the audio call, and that'll be an instant audio conference. Amy can do the same from the mobile, or anyone on the anyone else that's joined from wherever they may be. If we want to do a video conference, we just click on that one there, and instantly we're placed into a video conference with all the participants, assuming they can do video. And we'll try to chat here. So Amy, I'm sure there'll be a question, how many participants can you have in the room? There we go. Almost like we planned it. So you can have in the My Room experience 145 audio participants and up to 15 video participants. So compared to what we've had before in the past, obviously that's a massive improvement. So we've got some decent video collaboration there now as well. I just need to move this very shortly to the side. One other thing I can do here in My Room, if I move it around there, is I can do screen sharing in here as well. And it will do everything, and it will split up the windows. So if I started sharing my window, my screen, depending on the app I want to show, everyone will see it, including on the mobile client. And also, if anyone else in the My Room is using UC1 Trio on their desktop, they can also share their screen. And the other thing that you can do, which is a really good feature of My Room, is I can invite external participants. So this Jeff Remote character here, if I right click on the My Room icon, I can copy or email my guest invitation. They will receive an email with a link. So if they're not an internal UC1 Trio user, an external party can use it. They go to a web page. It'll come up here, the page before, first name, last name, so Jeff Remote in this case. You'll see here, download and install Meet. So like you've done on the mobile, for external participants, they download and install this separate small application called Meet, and then they will get this version here. Oh, it was the one, sorry. So same sort of idea, but obviously they don't have to be on the platform. They don't have to be a licensed user. So if your customers have got maybe a third party and they want to do a screen share or a video call, they can certainly do that using this application. Again, anyone in the room can chat, you can do the rest of it. And yeah, there you go. David Higgins also sent me a message in the bottom right hand corner. So there you go, that is My Room. I'm going to leave that there. I'm conscious of time, so I'm going to pass you back to Mr. Sinnott.
Holy cow. That was all very exciting. Thank you, Ed. So again, as Ed has shown you there's a lot of functionality in there. These are products which, when you begin to use them and you begin to play with them every day, become simply part of your functional capabilities. So we'd encourage as many of you as possible to add this to your own personal extension capability. Utilize it with your teams, get meetings going, get familiar with it. There are some very different sort of techniques in running a successful virtual meeting, and the more times you practice, the better you become. And equally, when you're reaching out to either customers or prospects, if you're reaching out to them using this product, of course it becomes a natural environment to which to sell the benefits of that particular product and service. So channel managers be very happy to take on the conversation with you, but if we look at some of the key benefits that you can get from here, we've got multiple devices with a single product to cover that. You've got the collaboration of the teams inside and outside. The key productivity dividends. At the end of the day, we all go out to our customers to sell productivity and reductions in their overall business operational costs. We shouldn't be afraid of the fact that we may be inviting them to add costs to their cloud communications bill. We're in the business of growing our revenues, but the trade is that we are giving them this key productivity dividend. These tools are the ones that make a physical difference to the performance of staff. So you're also modernising and future-proofing the structure that you're taking out to them, and it is very, very simply a quite long-awaited but very well-designed next step in the evolutionary journey of modern communications. So I find it very exciting. I'm personally absolutely thrilled that we've got this product out and working, and we've internally used it for a number of months now just to make sure that functionally it's fit for purpose. But you should have a field day taking out to the marketplace. And that's my way of drum rolling the cost structure that you've got here. The UC1 trio products come into these three sections. First of all, the soft phone only at $225. Again, that's $225, giving you the option of 3 applications across 3 different devices. You've got the IM&P version at $250. So only a small step up from where that needs to be, or from the original soft phone. And then that highly powerful full collaboration meeting tool into you at £4.95. And I think in terms of anybody who's going to buy that sort of collaboration tool, anybody who's used TeamViewer or WebEx and that sort of thing, you know that that is the easiest ROI that you'll come across in any product. Just as a reminder, however, of those simplified products, the UC1 Classic simplified products, again, just from an economics point of view, if they fully satisfy the requirements of your client, £1.77 or £1.13 are obviously very aggressive price points for the simplicity end of the marketplace. So again, I will invite you to reach out to us. Get your teams using it, come and talk to us via it, conduct our meetings. I know that a lot of you that I've seen personally, I'm inviting you to join me in virtual meetings all the time, and let's think about not only the new business world but the cross-sell, upsell of our existing customer base. I don't know if we've got any questions that are begging an answer. But thank you all once again. I realise we're running slightly longer than we normally do. We appreciate your time. I hope you grab this product, take it out to the marketplace, and enjoy the reactions that you get from the customers when you enable them to move further into the emerging work style, which I think will command the marketplace for the next 2 or 3 years.